and welcome back to Comic Book Wednesdays, a weekly series where we discuss comic books. We're your hosts, I'm Ian.
I'm Al.
And I'm Shane.
And,
Hola!
We're back this week, finishing up Transformers Till All Are One with the annual to kind of cap off the series. Shane, I'm gonna slow clap.
I am so glad.
Book. Fantastic. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say all my piece.
No, you're okay,
dude. The way it ended, I wasn't. I was actually expecting more of an action-packed ending where where Starscream and Windblade come together and defend Cybertron. And it was so much more poetic than that. And where the focus of the end of this was really much more on the character of Starscream and just him finding some type of redemption. And
it almost was reminiscent of the Spider-Man book, where he almost redeems himself at the end. And he does, I guess, but it still was not the same, but close.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
So during the voting or the kind of debate, I guess, where Starscream walks to the thing and Windblade's just and he told everybody the truth. And I was like, what? I was like,
yep.
He had that moment. It was just perfect. And it just really feels like not only the Windblade, but then the kind of the Jeremy Cricket Bumblebee type character got to him.
Yeah.
I would love to see a book where Starscream travels to find a way to revive Bumblebee. I don't know if he's dead or if he's just thinking about him because they were close enemies or anything. Can you fill me in on that?
Yeah, so from what I've been reading, and I'm not fully super caught up, but from what I've been reading, at the end of the war, when Optimus and Megatron kind of go their separate ways, Bumblebee is the one that gets elected first as the leader, and Starscream is his second. And so Bumblebee tries to make the government more hey, we need to have equal voices of both Autobots and the Decepticons if anybody is going to trust us ever again. And so he gives Starscream a bunch of tasks and a bunch of power, and him and Starscream grow to have this hey, even though we were enemies and we've tried to kill each other multiple times, we respect each other for what we're doing right now. Starscream still tries to connive and claw his way, just what he does, but Bumblebee was always there as this voice of hey, I know you're doing what you're doing because you can't get rid of your habits, and that's okay. I'm just letting you know that, I'm not going to trick you. I'm not going to screw you over. And he grows to respect him a little bit more. And then at some point, I'm not sure how, Bumblebee does die, and that death is so traumatic for Starscream because this was basically his only friend that he just gets him as his voice of conscience.
Yeah, then that doubles down on what I want. I want to see an arc where Starscream after this goes and finds a way to bring back Bumblebee, and just this really self-sacrificing book where you see Starscream just give everything for that.
You said you don't know if Bumblebee is dead at this point in the story, or he
well,
is dead.
I know that Bumblebee is dead. I don't know if Starscream does anything like Ian's saying.
Right.
I'm reading the backstory right now before Till All Are One. I haven't read anything past it.
Gotcha.
But I honestly gotta say, like from the beginning of this book, Ian, when you were like, "Yeah, is like I want Starscream to have a redemption," and I'm like, "Hmm, mm-hmm."
And he gets that. It's really satisfying. And I was so into the book when it finally said the end. I was like, oh, that's it. Like that's the end. I want
Yeah,
more.
definitely did want more at the end of it.
I'm so glad.
So yeah, I mean, the more Transformers you can bring to us, the better. That'd be fantastic.
That's
It
gonna happen.
it
Oh,
feels
I'm
like
sure, 100% of it.
I think what I like the most about this, and this might not be every Transformers book, but there was a lot of political intrigue, and um, I like that aspect of it, like just the politics of Cybertron, learning the different factions and seeing how they interact, and just like seeing all these really like interpersonal relationships form between all the different Transformers.
Yeah, no, I like that too, and like that was one of the ones that like kind of hit me when I was first reading this, and like rereading it, I still got these same emotions, just like a testament to the writers. When Rat Trap went to Windblade,
Yes.
and he was just like, "Here's this suitcase," and Windblade was like, "I don't want this. I don't want to be a part of your like secret bullshit. Like, I don't want to know what you have to tell me." And Rat Trap was like, "I'm the one that's been doing everything. I'm the one that's been trying to subvert him. But if I do it, it fails. It's just
Right.
another usurper. If you do it, everybody will be okay."
And like I like the fact that Windblade um, is so like it's like she's hurt. Like she wants to believe that like Starscream is becoming this better person, and she expects more out of him because of this. And then like you see that emotion when she throws the thing at him, and like what's even crazier about that scene is he's actively trying to find a way to better Cybertron at that point. You know, like he's standing there over a hollow map of the place trying to plan better infrastructure basically for Cybertron, how to make things better. And she's throwing this thing at him and she's like, "Look, you need to answer for what you're doing. I don't care if what you're doing now is going to be better for the city. It doesn't matter, you know? Like
Yeah.
you need to answer for what you've done. You got to own up for it." And like I wasn't sure at that point if he was going to do it or not. And then when it was so satisfying to see it.
I did really enjoy when Blade was like, "Nah, fuck you. I'm gonna tell the truth, and you can suck it, or you can deal with it."
And then, and she gets the chance to go first, and then she doesn't say anything, and I'm like, huh, is she like, that's unique. But then I think like, oh, she literally knew, like she knew he was going to do it. She knows
Yeah.
him better than he knew herself, or than he knew himself. Blah blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because they like mentally linked, and that was one of the things that I kind of had to think of like, did when she saw, there was such a beautiful, like, powerful image to me when he's like talking to Bumblebee as his conscious, like that you had mentioned. He's working on Cybertron's infrastructure, and Bumblebee basically says to him like, "So you really are going to work on the betterment?" And he's just like, "Yes, it's for us, for our people." And you could see the like mental image that he's holding of himself, like he's holding himself to the standard of this version that he wants to be. And I think it was at like that moment where he starts to like mentally shift. Because the old Starscream would have just like tried to deny it, I half expected him to like pull some things and like try and twist some things, but when he didn't, it really surprised me too. And like
Well,
it was just so fucking powerful at the end of it when she like goes to visit him in prison and like gives him the data pad, and he doesn't fight her, he doesn't say anything, he just goes, "Yeah, I'm in here, whatever," and looks at like the thing that she gives him.
and pulls it up, and he's looking. It's like it's so poetic. He's looking to the future. He's looking to his better self, and like
Mm-hmm.
you get a really sense of hope there going forward. Though, even though he is in jail, like this is the best possible thing for him. Um, it was really nice.
The one I don't know how you guys felt about this, but like it took me a minute or two to realize, like, if you remember from the first issue where like the combiners got that like message on the data pad from like DC 137 or whatever, and then
Yeah.
at the end of the book when Rat Trap was like,
Rat
no, that
Trap
was
ended
me.
up being that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was
He really
nice.
was a rat the whole time.
Oh, the rat trap.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Now
the one
let. I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
The one part that like really surprised me that I was kind of hoping for a little bit of action was when the flame of Caminus, like that woman, slapped Windblade across the face. I'm sitting there like, kick her ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
hoping, but
Like maybe if this was the beginning of the book, she might have. I don't know. She felt like she's really gone through this like journey.
Yeah, no, she evolved in some of the most beautiful ways.
Absolutely. Oh, it's I definitely want to see more of these characters. Now let me ask you. What I was gonna say is the
Hmm.
Till All Are One. That's not just this small story. That's the comic book line, right?
Um, so the comic book line is just IDW's run of Transformers. Till All Are One was an arc of that line.
Right. Well, it's I have to look because I was trying to I wanted to try to find this in an actual book, but I can't seem to locate it specifically unless I'm just
Oh,
not
I got you.
googling the right thing.
No, I'll send you the links of like where to find them and things like that. Um, buy them used if you can, if you want to buy them. Simply because buying them new, it's ridiculous for that for the price that they are. Um, the first issue, like it's Till All Are One Volume One. There's like Volume One, Volume Two, Volume Three, and it comes in like graphic novel format. You can find them on Amazon. A couple of different places. I can send you links, no problem.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, it was a fascinating read. I would like to see what they look like. So if I ever wanted to read more of this line or own it, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I have like made it my personal like little mission that whenever I go to a Barnes and Noble, I just look in the look in the graphic novel section for Transformers, because if
nice.
I see IDW and Transformers, I'm like, ah, no, snagging it.
It's that rare. It's hard to
Yeah,
find. That's
at least
fair.
out here, but we're
Absolutely.
kind of dinky out here, so like you guys might have better luck.
And we have a
Well,
decent comic book store.
if we find it, we'll definitely let you know.
I will Venmo you faster than God.
I know you will.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no, but we have a fantastic comic book store out here that really does wonders for the
yeah.
stuff that I need, at least.
It's got two locations too. Now the city location isn't. I mean, it's not.
It's not as good as the Willow Grove location,
Hmm.
but
Oddly enough.
it does a fairly good job.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. So
if all things work out, then I'll be out there in July.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to take a look, man.
yeah. Well, when you keep this conversation short because it's not really comic related, but when
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely.
wait, when you get out here, we'll plan something. We'll have to narrow down the days and we'll plan accordingly so we can make the most of your visit.
Cool.
Yeah. But guys, final thoughts on Till All Are One.
think it was a fantastic book, and I can't wait for more. Actually, both Transformers and Power Rangers. Big fan of both of what you put out, Shane.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
I gotta say, I don't know which one I want to see. I want to see more of more. I honestly, they're just both fantastic.
Yeah, I
And
mean, being honest with myself, I think I
Sure.
enjoyed the Power Rangers stuff because when I was a kid, it was more what I was interested
That's
in.
fair.
But the Transformers is definitely really interesting. I remember watching the show as a kid,
Mhm.
so I enjoyed the backstory a little bit more, or the force story a little bit more than than not having it at all. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
No, of course.
absolutely. Um,
I'm really glad and I'm really like honored that you guys liked it. It's one of my favorite like comic series that I've ever read, and like it each time, like this is my second time going through it, and like my emotions were just as strong the second time as I read it the first
that's
time. The
fucking
writing for
awesome.
me is just incredible.
well, Al, you're next.
So
Yeah,
that
you're on
being
deck.
said,
All
we have a couple of options. Okay. Um,
right.
Either way, we're doing a Gambit comic. Okay.
Okay.
I have two comics. One's a 24 issue comic. One's a 12 issue comic.
Mhm.
One's set in the Savage Land. The other is set in New Orleans. I'm leaning
Ooh.
more towards a New Orleans setting,
Uh-huh.
but the Savage Land stuff is fun, and it came first. So, and I haven't decided yet. If we do the 12 issue book, there is a second Gambit 4 issue thing that I'd like you guys to read. Um,
Would
Okay.
you want to
Along
do the
with
4 issues first and then jump
that's
into
what
the
I'd
12?
like to do because it's the first comics, the first comic line that was about Gambit. It really just like it gave you a lot of backstory to introduce the character. Um, that being said, it's not necessary to the reads, but it would be fun for you guys to have that information.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Um, but like I said, it's gonna be a Gambit issue, so you guys will get a little insight into my favorite character.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about Gambit. I think Gambit is fucking sweet. I've everything I know of him comes from the X-Men show from the 90s.
Yeah. So his character depth is way more than just from what you get, because he really doesn't. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have been watching it, but I've been rewatching the original '97 series that Ian just mentioned,
Uh-huh.
and it really doesn't give a lot on Gambit. Like he's there doing things here and there, but he's really only in like I want to say out of the whole series that I just rewatched,
Mhm.
probably 15 to 20 episodes.
Now,
Okay.
now that you did you finish rewatching it? You're done,
I have 5 episodes left.
dude. All I'm saying is
Nice.
keep your eyes away from social media as far as
I
spoilers
haven't
go for 97.
I haven't watched a single fucking thing on 97. As soon as I see it, I pass right by it.
Good.
I'm
Same.
just like, nope, I can't. I don't. I want to see it all brand new. You know what I mean?
All I'm gonna say to you is today's episode left me speechless.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
episode
Oh, I can't
five
wait.
was so freaking good. I I can't like I just sat there for a minute like not being able to talk. So
I
good.
loved the '97 X-Men. It's like that was my. If I wasn't watching Ninja Turtles or like Power Rangers, something like that, I was watching X-Men. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah, that's fair.
it's fucking. I'm ready for this shit.
No, you're gonna enjoy the hell out of it. Well, And it honestly, you you watching those episodes and then reading these X-Men books for our little show here, I think it's going to be a nice compliment.
Yeah, I am really excited. There's a lot of actually, there's a decent amount of Gambit stuff out there right now. I mean, there's Mr. and Mrs. X-Men, there's Gambit and Rogue. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of stuff that came out in the last, I want to say, 10 to 15 years that's revolved around Gambit and Rogue and their relationship and their story. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that I think it's going to be super awesome to dive into some Gambit material and really acknowledge my one of my favorite characters across media.
Cool. I know it's been a long time coming. I know you've definitely wanted to dive into the X-Men and some Gambit for a bit here, so I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I'm super excited.
awesome. So you'll just have to let us know what to start, and then next week we'll get in on the Gambit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds wonderful.
we'll talk about it off recording. I want to get your guys' opinions, but
Sure.
like I
Sure.
said, there's plenty of stuff to read, so we'll
All
find
right.
something.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for us tonight. Thanks everybody for listening. I hope you have a good night.
Night, y'all.
Hey, have a good night.